Welcome back. My name is Andy Melendrez, and I'm your Ward 2 City Council member and also the host of Shop Local, Shop Small, Riverside. And today we're in front of Tuition Tacos. You want to take a look at that sign up on top? It's called Tuition Taco Mexican Grill for a reason. And the owner will explain that reason, but also will give you some idea of what his menu is and then also why he started the business. Let's go ahead and take a look, and I'll have you go on into the waiting area first and take a look around. And this is the dining area to Tuition Tacos. Right in here. Come on in, Miguel. And we're going to go ahead and introduce you to the business owner. Come on out. How are you today?
How you doing, sir?
Good, good. How about yourself? Good.
Doing well,
Good. Give us your full name.
My name is Hector Alejandro Rosales. Welcome to Tuition Tacos.
And tell us when you started the business and how you came up with the name.
Yeah. So we started the business 2016. We started just like any other mom and pop would. We started selling tacos at Redlands Market Night, our neighboring city right next door. And at the time, we were trying to raise money because I had a full-time job with Microsoft. We were trying to raise money to give scholarships out to low-income students.
Now, you were working for Microsoft. What made you decide to get into selling food?
Yeah, that's a big jump, right? Going from Microsoft to selling food. So Microsoft, as you guys know, Bill Gates has a foundation where they donate a lot of money. And so as a Microsoft employee, they're able to give you $30,000, match $30,000 or thousands of dollars a year if you donate out of your pocket, whether it's time or if I donate as an employee, and they match it. And so I said, man, that's a lot of money. I was like, and so I told my wife, I said, why don't I start taking advantage of this money that, Microsoft gives, and they match. And so we went around to local low-income Title I schools, which are, usually lower-income students, schools that I went to personally. And I said, hey, we have this money. We could partner. I could volunteer my time. I could donate directly. But let's get let's get something going. And so that's where it all started, really, is trying to use money that I had available, resources that I had available in my corporate life, and infusing it back into my community. And one of the biggest things was when we started going to these schools, was just the overwhelming need. There was hundreds of students that obviously needed financial support. And then so my wife said, we can't reach them all, so what do we do? Because you would get a lot of letters from students, a lot of, just begging for help. And we said, you know what, why don't we feed them? Like, we can't give them all money, because you're talking about thousands of students, but what's something affordable that we can do for them to show them love? And that's where we said, tacos. Why can't we go in there and we can give them lunch? And I could go in there, maybe share my story, and then feed them some food afterwards, and just show them that love. And that's how Tuition Tacos was born. The kids love the food. The administrators love the food. And so we started selling it, and we quickly became one of the largest taqueros in the area.
Wow. So from corporate world in Microsoft to selling tacos, and now Tuition Tacos. And how did you come up with the name?
So yeah, there's a lot of leaps there. I had my dream job, probably like any other kid, that corner office. I was actually working at headquarters in Microsoft, where you overlook the forest in Seattle. And growing up here, Latino, you always dream of that office and the forest. And so I had that. But to be honest with you, I couldn't be happier than actually behind a grill selling tacos. I achieved my goal, but this is my passion. This is my dream, from a from one of the corner offices to being behind a grill. And Tuition Tacos was born because we wanted to tell people, you could sell anything. You could sell cookies, you could sell shoes, you could sell cars, you could sell whatever you want. But why are you doing it? What's the reason, right? Is it to get rich? To have money? My wife and I are really committed to giving away every single penny. Money is not a thing for us. We want to give it all away. And so that's where we said, hey, we're going to name this after our mission. Our goal is to help kids with tuition. Our goal is to help students be successful in college. And that's how Tuition Tacos was born. Is we want people to know that. And the funny thing is like the more we try to give away all of our pennies, dimes come back. So it's it's an interesting thing.
Yeah. So Tuition Tacos, you sell tacos, you sell food, and then you give scholarships to four-year students, or four-year university students, or whether Cal State or UCR or any surrounding university. How do they qualify for this assistance? Is it just tuition or is it computers? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we work directly with the school administrators for the Title I schools, obviously, to make sure that kids are in need. And like I said, we usually go in there and we talk to students. And you say, well, what do you talk to the students about? What does a taquero have to share with the kids? Well, this taquero was a straight F student. I was a straight F student in high school, and to this day, I stand before you here as a dropout. I am a high school dropout. And so then you start to ask me probably a lot of questions in your mind about why is this high school dropout, worked at Microsoft, now is here, a lot of questions. So that's kind of what we talk to the students about. I tell them, yes, I failed. I show them my transcript, straight Fs. Probably a lot of the viewers don't know what it's like to have straight Fs, but I did, straight Fs. I failed at community college, so straight Fs in community college. But I ended up getting accepted to Berkeley. I ended up getting my master's at the University of Michigan. And so that's the story I share with students. Just kind of a talk about failures and how to overcome those failures, and just be an example. And one of the biggest things that changed my life and so people ask, like, wait a second, how do you get straight Fs in high school at a low income school? How do you get straight Fs in community college? And then all of a sudden, like, Berkeley accepts you? Like, tell me that. And so that is actually where I believe Tuition Tacos was first planted in my head. I actually had a community college professor, as I was about to drop out of community college, because obviously I was not good enough to be there, he pulled me to the side and he says, Hector, you're a good kid. I like you, Hector. And I think and I explained to him some of my problems I was having. And the next thing he did really shocked me, right? Most people would give you a pep talk and they say, hey, hang in there, especially a professor, right? You can do it. You probably have all heard you can do it. But actually what he did next really shocked me. He actually reached into his wallet and he gave me a $100 bill and said, hey, here's money to buy the textbook. Stay in my class. I know you can do it. That changed my life. A lot of people can talk to you, a lot of people, but for someone to invest in you like that, for someone to actually invest in you and believe in you, it did something to me that shook me to my core. And so I believe that that's where Tuition Tacos started, because I want to do that to someone else. Just one person. I tell everyone, if I could just do it, shake someone like that, and have them focus. Education was my way out, no doubt about it. Right, straight Fs. I'm a taquero now. But because of my opportunities that college provided and working at Microsoft, I was able to buy my little place, my little taco shop. We have 2 taco shops now and looking to get a 3rd taco shop, but that would not be possible without the education. And so a lot of people say, hey, you could grab yourself by your bootstraps. You don't have to get education. You could go weld. You can be a taquero. You could do it. You can. But for me, education really gave me a leg up. It really was an advantage that led to where I'm at now. I don't think I would have gotten here as fast, without that support. So, now that's the chip on my shoulder. I wanna be able to invest in somebody else and tell them that I love them and that I believe in them.
Thank you for sharing that story. Obviously, it still resonates within you. It's still a very emotional story, but somebody investing in you made the difference, and believing in you made the difference. And you want to be able to share that story or share that experience and letting somebody else know we believe in you.
Exactly, and that's what we're here for. I just manage this business. This is not my business. This is not my wife's business. We just manage here, and we just want to show love. You know, at the end of the day, we just want to show love. You know, and be able to shake somebody else to do the right thing.
You say you just manage the business. Are you saying that there's another owner to this?
There is. We are closed on Sundays, if you catch what I'm saying, and I just manage the interest. So I always tell people that we want to be that example, and we just want to show that love. And I understand that I will work my hardest that I can to manage the business.
He really knows who the owner is around here, right?
Yes, I do.
Great. Tell us a little bit about your menu.
So the menu is, I actually did not know this, you know, growing up here in Southern California, but as we started to do taquizas, you know, and go to people's backyards. So yes, I was working in an office, and on the weekend, so I had my tie, right, my suit, in Microsoft headquarters, and then I would fly here from Seattle to LA every weekend to put on my taquero apron and start making tacos in the backyard. And in learning that, there's actually two types of different taqueros or taquizas you can make. There's actually a Mexican traditional taquiza, and then there is a California style type of taquiza. And so our menu reflects that. Is what we learned is there's two different types of groups in Southern California. There's the Mexican traditional that love, you know, that Mexican traditional flavor where we have the pinto beans and the Spanish red rice and the cilantro and cebolla and limon. Very Mexican traditional. We make everything from scratch. But then there's also another camp that are California style where, you know, they may prefer cilantro lime white rice, the whole black beans, the queso, the crema, the lechuga. So I was news to me, right? I grew up in a very Mexican traditional taquiza, but I was like, oh, you know what? I kind of do like the California style flavor. And so that's what we introduce here, and people have received it well, right? So we have our fans of the Mexican traditional menu or the fans of the California style. And California style is super popular for corporate Southern California.
Yeah. So you not only sell tacos, you sell burritos, and you also sell micheladas and caguamas, right? Tell us a little bit about the caguama, por favor.
Yeah.
En español o en inglés, no le hace.
So the michelada is actually a very popular drink that we make because we make it traditional. And so you're like, Hector, what's a traditional michelada? Actually, we're big history buffs here at Tuition Tacos, and you'll see some of the history here from either the taco history or our history. But the michelada was actually for a general in Mexico who wanted a nice cold beer. And so one of the first things he asked for was like, can I have some ice in my beer and sal y limón? So that was the original michelada named after the general. He just wanted a cold beer, right? Get it as cold as you can with that ice and sal y limón. And that's the michelada that we make today. So we held true to his beliefs, and the caguama is just a bigger size of it, and people just love it, right? So we just stuck with the traditional mix right there. And if you guys ever down, you have to try it. If you don't like it, I'll give you your money back because it's something we're known for sure.
And you have soy chorizo.
That goes
Soy chorizo, right? Soy, S-O-Y.
So I'm going to tell a dad joke right now because I have a couple of kids. But I think soy chorizo is the coolest food we have is because it's very formal. It's the only food item that introduces himself, if you think about it. I'll give you a minute to process. But in Spanish, soy means I am. So he's introducing himself, soy chorizo. That's my dad joke for the day, but that's part of our Cali flavor, right? Soy chorizo is probably not on a Mexican traditional menu, but that's something that's very, very popular on the California style.
Great. Now, this is one location. You said you have a second location and planning on a third location. Tell us where those are at.
Yeah, so our first one of the first locations we opened was in Anaheim. So it's over by Cal State Fullerton. This was our second location here by UCR. And then our third location we're in the process of securing is going to be in LA. And so we'll have the three different locations to really boost our catering business, because we're getting a lot of orders from these different markets.
Great. All right, Hector, this is wonderful. Is your wife here with you today?
No, she's actually pregnant. We are due in June 27th, so that's a week and a half from now. We're expecting a daughter. So right now she's at home taking care of our high school daughter, our 2-year-old, because I don't know what the heck we were thinking starting over. And then obviously our daughter that's due here.
And then now operating your own business, right? Not only one location, but 2 locations right now, with the third one on its way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. You got a wonderful. Take another look at the little dining area they just opened up. Again, they do social distancing here. You have making sure that everything is healthy. You sanitize everything. You make sure that you're compliant to make it as healthy as possible. So there you have it. Hector, came in from a Title I school, went to RCC, or not RCC, but a community college, did not do very well. Somebody inspired him, gave him $100 to buy a textbook, and that inspired him to move on in life and do extremely well. Thank you, Hector, for joining us today, and come out to Tuition Taco and tell me where you're at. Tell the community where you're at.
Yeah, obviously your support is appreciated. Our sales have been impacted, so we would love you guys to come down and visit us. We're at 3375 Iowa Avenue in Riverside, California, right on Iowa and Blaine. Right where near the Starbucks is. So we are begging you. I get on my hands and knees and beg you to come visit us, because we don't exist without your love and support. So thank you.
Yeah, and you're between the freeway on Blaine and on Iowa and the 91 freeway, or the 215 freeway, right in that little area. So you're not right on the corner. You're in a little shopping mall, correct?
Yeah, Google us. We're highly rated on Google, Tuition Tacos Riverside, and just click on directions and you'll come find me. I'll be right here.
All right. Doing good things in the community, Tuition Taco. We'll see you next time.